do something really soft, really soft. This looks really pretty. I'm actually on Wet n Wild's page right now using these. I used a different one. I used the darker one. This is the shade Let's Get Astrophysical. Look how pretty this is. So this one's a pressed glitter, and then this one is just a normal shimmer. Look how pretty. All right, let's go to town on this little guy here. Okay, so I took this color right here on the side of the brush. Notice that I took it on the side and not the tip of the brush, because you wanted to get in here and you want to coat this, and you want to coat it evenly. And the side of the brush is the easiest way to coat it more even. So just tap it back and forth. And I actually wanted to build up the color a little bit more on both sides. I'm actually not upset with the primer. I thought it was going to be a lot more patchy than what it is. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this primer. I've enjoyed it. If you ever find that you might have brought your eyeshadow up a little bit too high, just grab your primer brush again and then just kind of tap over it. See that? It'll just kind of tone it down and it's going to blend it. It's kind of like our concealer trick. I just decided to use the primer brush today. This is a really nice crease color, very soft. And then it is a matte, but it has just a little bit of that shimmer in there. Okay, so y'all are definitely asking me to add a wing liner, and I'm gonna use my favorite drugstore one too, but we're not there yet. But yes, we're doing a wing liner. And since this is gonna be a shorter tutorial, I can go into a little bit of depth. I'm enjoying myself. So now let's grab this shade from the palette. I'm actually just gonna grab it on my finger. I'm really trying to keep this really simple. I want it to be just like we're doing our makeup really fast, hanging out. I know a lot of times I get crazy. And by the time we're done, we have 3 wings, glitter. I'm sorry, but I want to be able to offer all kinds of makeup looks to you guys. So this is looking fun. So now we'll just grab that fluffy brush, go back and forth in here, and I'll just take it all the way across. I wanted it to be the most pigmented through the center, and then we'll just kind of feather it over this way and feather it over this way. Okay, so we're gonna do liner. Are y'all ready? This is actually my favorite drugstore liner. This one, they're both Maybelline. Let me find the other one. I love this one because it's super tiny. I'm gonna show you the difference. Let me grab that last, but you can see this is just a very tiny, this is a brush tip, so this is gonna be very precise. Let me show you my other favorite one. And then the other one I love is, this is also Maybelline, but this is the Master Precise All Day. This one's a liquid liner. This one's a felt tip. You can see it's just a little bit bigger. Let me grab the other one so I can compare. I swear, if they keep running away, sprouting legs. So there you go. You can just see the difference in those. But they're both Maybelline, and I love them both. This one's just a little bit more precise, but then I love this one because it can fill it in a little bit faster. So honestly, if you can do both, get both, because both incredible to have in your collection. Look at this little baby wing. He is the perfect baby wing. I love him. Ooh. I mean, I think it's a baby wing. Yeah, y'all know I'll be like in here like this and it'd be like a big old check mark most times, but this is my little baby wing. Okay, I'm gonna give you a few tips. I'm not gonna go into major detail because I'll be here for 4 hours, but I want you to really find where your eye separates, okay? Just really look for it. I know some of us have sensitive eyes and we can't jab ourselves like I can, but just really look for just the separation right here. You're just looking for that right there. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I just want you to dot where that separation is, which you want the top part. So we don't want to go down here. We want to go right above that separation. So that's right above the separation. Okay, now I just want you to study it. Just look at it. Just go, okay, so this is where a wing is going to start. Just look at it. Like, take your time. And even when you're thinking, oh, it's easy, we're just going to go from here, just really look at that. Okay, so here we go. So when we're doing this, we don't want to come out this way. That's not going to add any lift to the eye. So you can see that when I completely relax my eye, I do have some hooding there. And all I'm going to do, just kind of take your time. Now, I'm trying to do this in a more user-friendly way. A lot of times like this when I will just go in, but a lot of times you can't learn that way when I just go to town with it. So I'm just gonna Continue to keep building under here. Another reason I like this eyeliner is because it doesn't just flow out really fast. It kind of gives you just a little bit of time. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Perfect. Okay, so we have the initial. Always remember you don't have to worry as much underneath here as well, because we can clean that up with micellar water. Okay, so from here, I am going to shut my eye. I'm only going to take it right here. This is going to give us a lot more control. And I want you to know that just swiping a couple times is okay. You don't have to do it in one fluid motion. That can be very intimidating. All we're doing is connecting. Now, we have our initial shape. She's a little messy. That's okay. We can come back in and we can just kind of tap as we go. See, look at that. It's already coming together. And now I'll shut my eye. I'll start to fill it in just by tapping. I'm just tapping. So now we'll just take this and tap it in here, fill it in. And then I'll grab my micellar water, which is also drugstore. All right, we're gonna grab our Garnier micellar water. I just put it in the palm of my hand. And now, see, we can even go on top. We can come back and fix the eyeshadow, but I feel like this is a little out of control. So don't be afraid to come in here with just a little bit of that micellar water on top. I can show you how to put the eyeshadow back. And we'll just go under here as well, and look at that. That's so sharp. So just for this little area right above there, we're just going to tap into that shade that we already had. And look, it's on the tip of the brush. You just kind of press it back. It's not going to mess with your liner. It's going to fill in that gap. You're good to go. A lot of times liner is just about knowing how to correct it and keep it under control. We feel like we make one little tap and we're ruined. We're not. Don't you let that liner conquer you. So for the mascara we're going to use, and since I'm not going to be using falsies, I am just going to curl my lashes like so. This one is from Laura Mercier, but I remember having one from CoverGirl, I can't talk, 100 years ago, and I loved that one. But these days, you know, brands, they just send me so much, and they send me lash curlers, so I just always have one somewhere. I will save this to my saved highlights. There's going to be a lot in here. But I do want to say, whenever I wear falsies, I never curl my lashes. The curlier your lashes are, the more that they're going to slide around, and it's going to be harder to find your natural lash line. So I only curl my lashes if I'm wearing mascara. I mean, just look at that difference. I have used every mascara under the sun. This one is the one that I always go back to. It's my absolute favorite. I mean, that's one coat. It blows my mind. Okay, so we're just going to take this and I just roll it through. I want you to see it live in action here. So I'm just rolling it through. I mean, look at it. You can already see. Look at that. So now I'm going to grab my lash separator here from Japanese, comb it through a couple times. And then as the lashes are drying, I like to just hold them up. That way, as they set, they're going to set in a nice lifted angle. Look at this. Woo! Okay, what you see here is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. It is my favorite. Even though I'm normal to dry, it doesn't suck the life out of your skin, but even if you're oily, it's really going to make sure that you stay nice and mattified. I have been using this primer now probably over a year, and out of all of my matte primers, I would say it's my, it's hard to say. Let's just say it's my second favorite. My favorite is going to be the Illamasqua, but this one, she's a close second. And I'm using my Anissa eye treatment brush. I like to use this one because it really just pinpoints where I want to be mattified. I don't want to be mattified underneath my eyes, and I don't want to be mattified here. So I just have a lot more control with this brush. Okay, so we're going to grab this foundation, this little pouch. This is real cute. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me. Y'all are going to freak out. You're going to freak out. I've never used this foundation. Am I the only one? Okay, why were we not using this foundation? Look, I have it on this side. I always assumed this foundation was a lot heavier and a lot thicker. This is beautiful. Now, it would be completely buildable to full coverage. You guys know I normally don't do that. This is so pretty. So we're going to pick this up here with our Nisa Pinnacle Foundation brush. And I'm just going to start to press that in. Look at that. Great coverage. Not heavy. Okay. Why did y'all not tell me to try this sooner? Y'all were hiding it from me. Now I'm going to take my Anisa Beauty. This is the Angle Concealer, and I have the smallest amount of foundation on here. And I'm just going to go around my brows. This brush just fits so nicely around your brows in these small, hard to reach areas. And I'm also just going to take it and press it in here, and then right across. It just melts everything together. When I say I'm using a small amount, take that and cut that in half. If we were to go across it too heavily, it would just become muddy. But just that right amount, it really just makes sure that everything is nice and melted, and it gives a really high-end effect no matter what eyeshadow you're using. I also want to know, how many of you have the Anisa brushes? Let me know here. We're doing a little poll. I gotta know who has them and who doesn't, because you're missing out if you don't. Just trust me. Now for our concealer, I grabbed this one. I had it over in my other vanity. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Concealer. And I just blended it in over here, and I was not upset with it. So I have two different vanities, and I have confusing stuff everywhere. So I don't know why this was in there. It's staying in here now. This is my main one that I filmed the daily tutorials at. Yeah, that's pretty. That's, whew. So I already have it blended on my forehead, under this eye, over here. It just looks so good. It looks so, so good. So I've spent all of this time that I've been gone looking for my Rimmel translucent powder, and I cannot find it. So I'm going to have to use this underneath my eyes, but my favorite drugstore loose translucent powder, oh, it's so good. It's from Rimmel. So it's the Stay Matte. I don't know. Let me find the name. Actually, I'll just find you a link. This one's the best. So I'll just grab my press powder and my puff, and I'll just press just a little bit underneath my eyes. This should do in a pinch. We'll use this all over the rest of our face, but we needed to set that concealer. And I'm actually going to do a jelly bronzer and one of my favorite blushes. So I'm noticing a few of my clips aren't uploading. So if you're missing something, you can blame it on your old friend Instagram. So now we're going to hop over into the jelly bronzer. This one's from Rimmel. I was using this all summer long. It's so good. So I already have some scooped out here. And I'm using my Anisa Buffing Bronzer brush. And I'm just going to stamp and press this in. Look how pretty that is. Honestly, you can't go wrong with it. It's so user-friendly, but it's so pretty. 10/10 would recommend. This is a spicy little number here. I love it. Honestly, you guys were seeing me use creams all summer long. I only stopped because y'all were like, Rose, put down the creams. And I'm like, fine. I miss them. I forget how pretty they are. So this is the Maybelline Cheek Heat. I'm using the shade Nude Burn. And I'm actually just going to use my Anisa Buffing Bronzer brush for this as well. It did a great job. It just kind of presses it in. I'm going to take it across my nose just to give us that cute little in the sun effect. And then a little bit here. Not quite on the top here, but right under that bronzer. Okay, back to our Rimmel powder. This one's the pressed one. And I'm just going to press this in with my Anisa multi-powder brush. Notice that I'm not swiping. I'm really just pressing it into the skin. We're not going to get cakey this way. It's also not going to lift the foundation. You just really want to press. I know it looks maniacal and it looks a little bit aggressive, but pressing that in is the key to smooth foundation. Now, if you still want to add a little bit more zhuzh, one of the best powder bronzers ever to this day, this is the Physicians Formula. I'm using the shade Sunset Bronzer, and we just need a little bit. This is crazy pigmented. I just wanted just a little bit more depth. I mean, look at that. I barely tap it and we're bronze goddess. Love this bronzer so much. Ooh, ooh, look at the sun. Very aesthetic. Ooh, ooh. Okay, I'm done. Okay, this is what we're going to use for our highlighter, but we're going to apply it different. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pick it up here with my finger and I'm going to press it in, okay? If you really press it in, it's going to help with texture. Even though I don't have any hair on my face and I don't really have heavily textured skin, sometimes highlighters, they'll leave it and they'll just add to something that's not even really there. So if you really press it in with your finger, it almost turns it into a cream. It's a magical tip I picked up and I'm glad that I learned it because I was out here looking like a textured lizard rear end. Oh, and somebody just asked me about mascara on their lids, and I just saw that that's there. Okay, it's been dry for like 100 years now. Take a completely clean spoolie, and it's gone. Woo! I love makeup. So now I'm just going to grab the peachy color again. I'm grabbing it on the tip of the brush, and we'll just sweep it under here. Super easy, but just kind of adds some depth. Now we're just going to grab this shade from the palette, and this will be our inner corner, and we'll just pop a little bit on our brow bone. Then I added just a little touch of the glitter here. I'm just going to press it, and I just kind of pressed it right to the center and then just up through here a little bit. Look how pretty that is. That is the spice. This is a different color for me. I like it. This one's from Maybelline. And I'm just gonna put it on, and I'm not gonna do lip liner. I'm actually just gonna kind of soften it and push it towards the edge. It's not too defined. We're still gonna put a gloss on top, so we're not gonna worry as much. I mean, look at that. That's so pretty. I have a few DMs about Anissa Beauty's shipping and how it can be very expensive to certain countries. Remember, guys, they are a newer company. So just stay tuned, stick with them, make sure you're signed up for emails. They will definitely be working on that in the future, I know it, but thank you for the support in the meantime. Now we're going to grab one of the Maybelline Lifter Glosses. I used one of these the other day for the tutorial I did for them, and I was obsessed. Plus they smell like a tropical vacation that I can't afford. Alright, I'm done. Drugstore. This is spicy. This is good. Also, you guys are going to see that foundation all the time now because it's looking good. I filmed a little video of this look, so I'll be posting that probably later this week. This will also be saved to my highlights. What else? What else did I want to tell you? You know, I feel like my stories are like a FaceTime call. Like I'm just on FaceTime with all of my friends. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I'm going to save it. Get ready for tonight's post because your girl Rose, she can't believe it. So I'm going to need all the support on that one. And I love you guys. And again, follow me on TikTok because that's where I'm posting the actual video for the brand. It's insane. Little old Rose over here. I love you guys so much. I mean it. You know I mean it. See you tomorrow.